Hello, Gina Zitlow. I just wanted to share a house healing experience with you. Yes, I am a real estate broker and I have been doing house healings for quite a while. I've learned over the years a lot about environment, obviously, because I'm in and out of property all day long. And since I'm a medium, I've come across quite a few interesting, fun adventures. So I do distance healing work. I do energy work as well. Like I said, I'm a medium. So I get hired by clients to do a house healing, which is way different than a house clearing. That's just moving energy around with some sage and whatever. This is actually a deep dive connection with the energy of the property, getting messages, and taking those messages and relaying those messages to the owner, but also going through the healing process of what the house requires of the owner or of me to actually substantiate a whole energetic healing of the property. Sometimes spirits are involved. I am a medium, like I said, so I deal with high vibration spirits, which are human spirits that have moved to the light. I also deal with low vibration spirits or energies that are stuck here. And so this house healing adventure for today is from a house in Louisiana. And it wasn't actually a house, it was an inn. And it's in New Orleans, Louisiana, little witchy town where there's voodoo and witch stuff and scary things all over the place. So she had told me there was a spirit in the house and she was worried about some energy around remodeling in the kitchen and doing some other stuff. So I said, okay, I'll go in, I'll connect with the property and we'll go from there. So I live in California, so I do this distance work. So I energetically tuned into the property and fun stuff came up. There was a human spirit that was stuck, low vibration energy. The owner had felt it as someone that was very angry, and it actually wasn't an angry spirit at all. She was very afraid. She was an independent soul that wasn't really attached to the owner of the property or to the property itself, but to the land or a property that had been there before. She was a servant and she actually was very much abused, but one of her joys was the kitchen. And she loved to cook and she loved to bake and feed the family. Well, the kitchen was where my current owner was remodeling, and my owner had felt all this funky energy around the kitchen, and that's why, because the spirit was attached to the kitchen. Anyway, the spirit, I had seen her when I tuned in. She was in the one of the bathrooms, crouching on the floor, like all curled up and very afraid. She was afraid of men because she was abused by a man. Anyway, in real life, after doing the clearing and the healing, I spoke with the owner, and the owner had said that the spirit, this female spirit, she usually felt her energy in the bathroom and in the bedroom that was attached to that bathroom. So I thought that was very cool that, you know, I got to see and feel that. So I did have a conversation with the spirit, and she was actually really ready to move to the light. So I had assistance from my guides and angels, and we actually moved this beautiful, sweet spirit to the light. And then I could actually get in and actually start working on connecting to the house and healing this inn. Fun thing, first time I've ever experienced an inn or a property that was high vibration, already coming from the light, positive energy. And this house had energy of a female. So it had definitely had female, feminine energy. And usually the properties will present one way or the other, either male energy, female energy. I had one property actually show up as neutral, a little bit of male, a little bit of female. So it was very neutral. Anyway, there was quite a few similarities that after I got off the, after I was finished with the reading, I actually called the client. I relay all the information to the client, and then I type a report and send that report to the client as well. So I was going over information about this house, that this house was absolutely magical. And she said, yes, it was. And she felt very connected to the house. And in the reading, the house was saying that it had a very unique relationship with the owner, and that she loved the owner, and she knew as soon as the owner looked at the property that they were going to be lifelong friends and have this beautiful relationship. And they actually do. Like, my client really talks to this property, asks it what it needs, if she's going to do a remodel, and she really feels like she's connected to the property when all of this goes on, which I think is very cool. The house told me that it wanted flowers, a certain kind of flower, showed me a picture, wanted white candles, told me some information about an employee, which was right on. The owner confirmed that there was an employee that had very masculine, very controlling energy, and it was an employee that needed to leave. And the house was very adamant that it only wanted positive energy employees that were really about nurturing people that came into the inn and really nurturing the vibe of this property. So I thought that was really cool, because the owner was saying that that was validation for her, because she really does need to move this employee on. It's not quite a good fit anymore. And what else can I tell you? There's some really fun stuff. I was going to make notes and write them all here, but I didn't want to look at everything. The house gave me a ton of information about the owner. The house is very much about nurturing and bringing people in and healing people. And the house said that it was very connected to this owner, because part of her job is to heal the owner and be a solid energy force for the owner, loving herself, giving herself self-love, and really giving back to herself, because she gives so much to other people, which is very true. The owner confirmed that, validated that. And then also there was information around a couple other things that I won't mention here about the owner, that the owner clarified. And then lastly, there was a date in October, and it popped into my brain, October, and I'm like, what about October? And the house kept telling me that the owner would know. So I mentioned October to the owner, and wouldn't you know, and mind you, this is New Orleans, Louisiana, there was a group of witches that had come to stay at the property, and the owner didn't know it until after they were already there. And there was some stuff that was done in the house. And afterwards, the owner felt really bad about it. She talked to the house. She told the house that she was so sorry. She did, sage and some other stuff to kind of clear out some of that energy that was left from the witches. And it was beautiful validation from the house, that the house knew what she did in October and what happened in October, and that everything was okay. So I thought that was super interesting. And then lastly, the property said that she needed to raise her prices. So I thought that was really weird. I've never had a message like that before. And so I told the owner, and the owner was like, I've had 2 other people tell me that I need to raise my prices. But she goes, I don't feel comfortable doing that. I said, the house is ready. The house is going to support you. This inn, all the energy is about waving people in. And that's the picture that the property was giving me, was just shuffling people in, and that this was going to be a beacon of light in this town, and people were going to be coming in, and the price wasn't a problem, that she had to raise her prices. So she's now considering that, and she's really excited about what's going to happen with the property going forward, and she feels really good about all the energy. She's going to check it out tomorrow, so she's going to give me feedback as to how the property feels now versus how it felt before. So maybe I'll give you a follow-up video. But I just wanted to share with you, this is house healing, and I absolutely love this work. I think it's amazing, it's fun, and I'm super honored and super blessed that I have this special gift that I can actually do this. Environment's everything. And so the owner got just as much healing out of this session as the property did. And now we're talking about doing some other work together. So I think that's fun. If you want to hear more about house healings, you can go to intuitiverealtygroup.com. I've got information on my site there. from the real estate aspect. Otherwise, you can go to ginazitlow.com, and I've got house healing information there as well. Thank you so much for letting me share. I love sharing stories with other people so that they can learn a little bit more about energy and about how significant energy is, and that house healings are possible. Anyway, thank you for listening, and I hope to see you soon.